else. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. I'm also just texting on Blue Sky or Blue Skying. I don't know. What do you say? We're live.
Well, I mean, it's funny because like we use like the term Twitter for so long, like that so many people are not even using like that anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So now it's like, what's the new term for us? Because we're not Twittering anymore. We're not tweeting.
I'm tweeting on the Blue Skying app.
I know. We're gonna have to come up with new lingo for like
I
the
know.
whole change.
Yeah, it's funny. I was like saying that I'm gonna text someone something at work, and my American colleague was like, "Text? You British people are so funny. It's slacking." I was like, "Okay."
Wait, it's what?
Because like slacking because it was on Slack. And I was like, "Well, it's still texting. Like I'm texting something." So apparently it's like a British thing, which I don't know. Maybe it's just him. But anyway, hi. Really nice to hang out.
Yeah.
First live show of New Year, which is crazy.
I know.
So yeah, welcome Tufty, very welcome.
Hi, Tufty.
As always, first here, are you, because Tufty already has our new book we're reading, which is The Space Between the Worlds, and he said he might add it to his TBR for February, which made me feel very honored. But what are you reading today, Kira? Because I know you said it's not The Space Between the
So
Worlds.
I started reading that Water Moon book.
Oh, I have an arc for that. How is it so far? Oh my god, that's such a gorgeous copy.
This is from Illumicrate. And I was like, I don't know, like I've been like in the mood for something kind of light, you know, like something kind of fun, like, you know, the world's burning, we need happiness.
Yeah.
So I decided like to sit down and kind of like start that, and it's supposed to be like people fans of Studio Ghibli, and I like it because it's like very poetic, and but it's also like kind of like a beautiful kind of like story about like this girl, like it's like about a girl and her father who own this pawn shop or this tea shop like in the middle of like, it's kind of like in the middle of like almost like limbo, like between like the spirit world and earth, and a lot of people come in like looking for a ramen shop and they end up at this tea shop.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds so good. I'm very excited to pick it up.
Yes.
Because I have the arc, so I have an ebook of it. So I'm definitely going to do it soon. We went, Hannah and me went for like young adult literature convention, which is like YOLC. It's in the UK, and they were promoting this book, and they had a whole like mochi stand, you know, like the little ice cream, and they were like giving out the ice cream, and I think it was salted caramel flavor or something. It was so good. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited for the book now. And also I wanted the paper arc, but I didn't get one. But it looked really good.
Actually, it is so far. I'm through the first part of it, and I'm like, this is like really beautiful, like so far. Like even like the poetry, like that they kind of like the prose and stuff like that they have in it. It's just, oh, it's so good.
Oh, it's really so awesome to hear. Yeah. I'm so excited for it. I'm actually also reading something cozy. So I picked up an audiobook of The Honey Witch. I don't know if you've heard of that. But so Honey Witch. So I'm like 62% in it because I realized my Spotify renews in like 2 days. So I was like, oh shit, I need to listen to something. But so I might be listening to The Honey Witch during the sprints and crocheting a bit. But once I finish that, I also have the audiobook of The Space Between Worlds.
Yes.
And I really need to get through this bad boy, Assassin's Creed by Robin Hobb, book 3 in the Farseer trilogy. I'm like this much through. It's really good. It's just slow, but they're all slow and they're all amazing. But me and Hannah want to make our way through Dandelion Dynasty starting from March because we read book 1. We were going to continue. So it's like the Grace of Kings one. Which means I need to finish this behemoth this month.
Yes.
You know, I still have almost a month. So.
Yes. And at some point, Sun Eater.
Yes, I know. I'm so excited. Once we finish Dandelion, I think it might be. We have a whole list as our buddy reads, but I think that might be next. And by then, last book will be out because it's going to take such a long time.
Well, I think he said it's supposed to be like out later this year, but he's really like good about. I'm signed up like for his emails. like on his, so I get the updates like about like where he's at like with his drafts and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, I'm still kind of like working on the final draft of this, and it was way longer than I thought it was going to be, and he's like, it's way longer like than the third book, which is the longest one, and I'm like, and I was like, the whole point of him splitting like these like last couple of books like into two different books was because they were too long to begin with, and he's like, it's still too long. So I'm like, that's okay, because like once it's over, and I want to live in this world for as long as possible. So
oh man, I'm so excited to start it. I mean, I've heard such good things.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just catch up on everyone's messages. I have this month's book right here beside me just now, but I have already started 2 books this month, which I really ought to continue and finish first. And that's fair because you have 3 weeks, because our live show is on the 2nd of March, so actually you have loads of time. But I have been reading one of them this morning, got it to a point maybe half an hour ago where I'm literally cheering for one of the main perspective characters, so I want to continue. Today's book is The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Flores. It has so many books within the library, so many I cannot comprehend how many books are in this location. I'm very excited to pick this up because my library hasn't. I always see it and I'm like, ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Hannon.
Hello.
Nice to have you. Ask Quest, indeed. Assassin Quest. Yes, I'm doing it. Woohoo. That is such a fabulous book. I feel like everyone loves it so much, and I am loving it, but I'm like ready. I think the plot's about to start, which is great. Make sure you do a summary of the trilogy, as I really want to know your thoughts as well as your favorites of the set. Okay, I shall do that. I shall do that when I finish. I'm sure I'll share. But yeah, I think I'm gonna like read for one sprint, do my little crochet for one sprint, because I'm making. Pridefully display. I'm making a sweater.
Ooh.
And, I finally got to the bit where you can like make the straps, so I'm like ready.
I like that.
Thank you. But it is a little like complicated, so I have to like watch the video alongside doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Which means it's kind of hard to listen to audiobooks. I've been watching Jane the Virgin, or rewatching Jane the Virgin. Ooh, I will try to finish this Woven Kingdom today, as I've been finding it fun, but I'm losing steam. If I don't read today, I might never go back to it.
Yeah.
This is why we're here.
Yes.
Hi, Roro.
Hello.
How's everyone doing? What are you reading, Roro? It's nice. I feel like we all have quite big books. Oh, how big is Water Moon?
It's really not that bad.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
I'm very like because these are like collector's editions, so like I don't want to get fingerprints all over it. So I'm like very like, but I'll show you some of.
That's beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
And then
gorgeous.
Yeah. So I don't want I get like very self-conscious about like my collector's editions, so I always like put like a sleeve over them when I read them.
No, that's fair. I feel like I really like when the naked book is white, but then every single white copy I have is like, oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, sorry.
I wanted to show it to you.
Basically what I'm saying, so it always upsets me. So I keep thinking I want like a buy like what you have, like a fabric.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or actually, Hannon, you can make me one because she's learning how to sew.
I mean, in all fairness, like this is incredibly too big for this book, but I don't really care. So
it's fine. You can do like a little like pinch it.
Yes. I'm also reading Bukowski like right now for poetry as well.
Nice.
So I'm going back and forth between the poetry and the fantasy book.
Sorry. Whoa, gorge about Watermoon. The print of The Book That Wouldn't Burn is just a wee bit too tightly packed, and I've got to the age where it's a little trickier to read in bed now, so I need a bit more light. So daytime book.
Yes.
This one is just short of 600 pages, but quite dense.
Wow.
This is like I read 170 books of this, and I'm 20% in, and 170 pages of this, and I'm 20% in, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized it's 830 pages long, so biggie. I have duplicates of few collector's editions that I can read the paperback and admire the fancy edition.
Oh.
Thank you.
Speaking of collector's editions, I did manage to get my hands on the Sun Eater from Broken Binding. Like, so I did that back like in December, but I'm happy because like I don't have them yet. They're going to take a while to ship out, but I mean, I got my set. So I was
Oh my god, I'm so happy for you.
I have all the original hardbacks, like for the set that I read, and then I'll have my collector's edition.
Oh my god. Okay, when it comes, you have to do a whole show and tell because I feel like I've seen it online, but obviously it looks so much different in person as well.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to be coming out because that's just books 1 through 3. So they're going to probably be coming out like with another, like few sets for those.
I think you said for those you get like priority, right? If you already bought the previous set, or am I imagining?
Yes. And I'm a subscriber for Broken Binding too. Right now, we'll see like with everything going on, but like, I don't know how expensive it's going to be like if things keep going the way that they are. But at this juncture, I am still a subscriber, and all their editions are like gorgeous. So
yeah, absolutely beautiful. I don't even know if they ship to UK, but I can't be doing that. I recently finished Hobbs' Lifeship Traders trilogy, and the last 2 books in that were just over 900 pages. Yeah, that's my next one. Once we finish Dandelion, that's going to be my solo big thing, and I'm scared. Are you chaps doing Sun Eater as a read-along queen or separately to this little club? I think separately because Kira's already read it. Or maybe time will come when she's like, I'm ready to read the whole thing.
I love the books. I actually have them like super tabs. So even if like we were to sit down like and talk about it, like I'd still be able like to go back through my tabs because I heavily tab like all the stuff that I like or all the key points or anything else like that. And I'd be able to refresh pretty easily.
How many books is that?
Like it's going to be 7. Yeah.
That's the only thing. That'll take us a year.
Yeah. Yes. And the writing in it's small. Like these are chunkers. Like these are probably some of the chunkier books, like up there like with John Gwen, but like smaller writing. So yeah. So they're very like that's one of the reasons why I love them like though, because like they're so consuming, but like and like I feel like I'm not draining my time like into it. Like I just feel like, like I'm kind of like existing like with that book because it's so like in like there's so much time investment, but it's worth
100%. I feel like I used to read like when I was like a teenager, like such thick books. I mean, to be fair, most of them were like Cassandra Clare, but still they were like really thick. Like, and I was like really into reading series back to back and stuff. And I think you just get to immersed in the world. And then when uni started and you become more busy, it's like smaller books seem more manageable. So now I'm trying to go back to like sometimes picking up a chunker like this. And it's just amazing like how long you're in there. And like it does make you enjoy it more, I think, because you're like have that time. Super tabbed. I love that. I don't tab myself, but the tabs make me peer into the booktube when I see it. But I try to tab, but I'm just not good at it. I have these 2 current books as commitment reads. Other folks picked them out for me to read, so I will read them, and I'm having great time with both, so that's worked well. What's the other book? Then I have to pick of my own and a Johnson book for Readalong Queens, but after that I have no particular preset books. I'm open to suggestions. We just the agenda is here. Yeah, either that or like honestly, the Grace of Kings is so good. I can't wait to continue. I heard it only gets better. And Hannah, in her infinite kindness, has gifted me her paperbacks because she got the it's a broken back. What special edition do you have, Hannah, of Dandelion Dynasty? But she got the special editions in hardback. And yeah, she gave me the paperbacks, and they're like pride and joy. I need to display them more prominently. But I really love them because they're like the pretty pinky, bluey ones.
Ooh.
Yeah, really pretty. The other book is The Hunter, a self-published book by Kaylee Agard. Wow, that sounds good. Okay, should we do our first sprint? Do we want to chat more?
Yeah, we can go ahead and start our sprints.
They are very chunky.
They are.
So big. But like honestly, first book I didn't even feel that it was that big because it flies by. So good. Let me get up my timer.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, pink. Pink. That's nice. Ugh. I don't know if you heard that, but it's a coarse little commercial. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So, you're reading Watermoon? That's your first.
Yeah, and like if I get like done like that with that early, and I still have like a little bit of time, I might like read a poem or two of this, because
Nice.
I mean, these are actually pretty good sized books for all the poetry that's in them.
Nice.
So.
Yeah. I think first sprint I'll also be reading. All right, everyone. Let me share my screen.
Ooh.
It's pretty, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
All right.
See you in 45.
See ya. I think the timer paused.
Oops, sorry.
No worries. I just noticed, I was just like, oh, we're going to be at 4 minutes for a while.
Makes sense. Well, I'll see you in 4.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
How'd you do? Did you read the whole time?
Most of it, yeah. I think I got like about 25 pages further. So
nice.
Yeah. What did you do?
I also mostly read. I read one chapter, but the chapters are like 20 pages. So yeah, I think I'm on page 192. So read about 20. And then I listened to a bit and crocheted for a bit as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I made myself tea. It's nice. What about everyone else? Hi, James. So how much through the book are you?
I'm here. Like, so I've only like read. Like, I still have that much left to go, and I haven't read that much. So it's hard to see it like with the. But yeah.
That's decent.
Yes, a little over 100 pages now. It's not that long. It's only like about 300 and almost, like just under 400 pages. It's really not that long.
Nice. A few pages in so far, the book that wouldn't burn has a couple of perspectives. We flipped to the other one that I'm still puzzling out. Nice. Hey, haven't done any reading myself today, lol, but I did just get out of bed. Sounds nice. You in the US or in Europe? Because I guess that means different. It means different things in different continents, I guess. Oh. Any fun plans for next week?
I mean, I bought some acrylic paint. I might try to do some painting and writing and stuff. So we'll see.
Nice, because you said you have a week off, right?
Yes, I do. Staycation.
Nice.
So, yes.
Ooh, paint. That sounds fun. Do you like painting or no?
I'm still kind of acclimating myself to it. I'm not as familiar with that as I am writing. Yeah.
Do you like following, I guess, something like, or is it like abstract? Like what do you like painting?
I mean, not so much like abstract, but like, I mean, I don't really paint that much, so I'm still kind of like figuring out like what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm just kind of doing it.
That's fair. I got really into paint by numbers for a while, and that was really fun. But like proper painting sounds hard. In the US near Kira. Oh well, then still.
I thought, yeah. Hi, James.
Big week here next week. Things that must occur. I hope it goes smoothly too.
Me too.
Yeah. Am I doing anything fun next week? Nothing too crazy. I don't think. No week off, which is sad, but we'll survive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Beyonce tickets are going on sale, so I'm gonna try and do that. Yeah, because she's coming back to UK in June.
Nice.
Harder, yeah.
I'm really excited that she won.
Yeah, really happy for her.
Yes.
I actually really like Cowboy Carter. Like I've never really listened to Beyonce like properly for a full album. Obviously, she has her iconic songs that I love, but it was like the first one where I sat down and listened to it. I was like, this is really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy she won. I did a pre-order for D in advance just to see what would occur. Would the pre-order ship with the in-stock book or separately? Not sure which book you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm confused too.
I was often swooped on a pre-order about 2 days in advance of release, and it ships rapidly. Well pleased to discover I can extend this out to 4 days. Oh, okay, so that you did a pre-order 4 days in advance to see what happened. I think like the pre-order just means that they like earmark a book for you and they probably send it a little bit earlier, right? But I've had it where it's like I pre-ordered and then it took so long to get there. Might as well just have bought it outright. Waterstone's really bad at that, I feel. Oh.
Yeah, I found like another book that I'm like very curious about reading because like I've been like listening like to this TikToker like that does underconsumption videos, and she also loves fashion. So she was discussing like that fashion changes with like politics, and they actually have books written about this.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's what I said too. I'm just like, I guess, like fashion, like, because like she was saying like that fashion's like the best indicator of like where our politics are going.
That's so cool. Do you know
I
what the
know.
name is of the
Uh,
book?
there's two different books actually, like that she recommended, but give me just a second and I will get the names for you. So the first one is called Fashion and Politics by Dirja Bartlett. I don't know if you can see it very well.
Yes, I
Yeah,
found.
Fashion and Politics. So that's the first one.
Mm.
Um, I thought that was kind of interesting. So I'm wanting to explore like that like a little bit more because I love fashion and clothes and stuff. And so I'm kind of like, oh, I was just like, I would want to know, all of this.
That's just so interesting. Yeah.
And then the other like one is called The Anti-Capitalist Book of Fashion by Tansy E. Hoskins.
Oh.
So yeah.
Nice. I've added both
Mm-hmm.
to my to read. That sounds really interesting. I like this comment. I am amused whenever folks cry out, "Keep politics out of XYZ," and here we learn that politics is in fashion too.
Yep.
It's in everything. It's crazy.
Well, they
Wow.
Well, the H guy, well, fun fact, the H guy in Germany during the 1930s did not like red lipstick. He was opposed to women wearing red lipstick.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was too feminine. It was too strongly feminine.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yep.
it was so popular back then.
Yeah.
Had like a big thing. Yeah, that's really interesting. I'm gonna check out those books. That still sounds good. The pre-order is my top hype wagon book at the moment, The Unkillable Princess by Taran Hunt. I read book one a while ago and I'm very excited to read book two. I'm not sure if I've ever heard of that. Let me see.
I don't think I have either.
Unkillable Princess. This is book one.
Okay. I like the cover on that.
It's very cool. Ooh. Book two cover. Oh, that's pretty good. But the first one had so many cool, like different elements. It was very cool. Well, I'm glad you like book one. And excited for book two.
Yes.
My most recent nonfiction books were about building a city on Mars, nothing to do with Musk, and how trains are the future of transport. That's very interesting. I love a train, man. I love a train. Ooh, that's sick. Love me some space stuff. Tufty has a lot of good space wrecks.
Yes. He is big on fantasy and science fiction and everything. So,
Yes.
yes.
The chunky ones.
Yes.
Rachel Koo is a TV chef who has fabulous line in red lipstick. I once got told, "I know why you like her," and I wish I'd replied that her lipstick game was on point. Oh, but I find red lipstick so hard because it's like I feel like if it's not perfect, it really shows. Look, Tafty, you're my new best friend. I love facilitating friendship. Follow him on Blue Sky. He has a lot of good recs.
Yes.
I feel like whenever we talk about sci-fi book, he's like, "Oh, either read it or on the TBR already," and he reads a lot of like indie stuff as well, which is cool. Basic trad pub sci-fi type of thing. I read a lot of indie stuff, but not sci-fi because I'm still a newbie.
Yeah. I mean, I read more poetry like these days than I'd read anything else, but I mean, I really haven't dabbled a lot like with the indie science fiction genre either, even though I've read quite a bit of science fiction at this point.
Mm.
Not as much as Tufty.
Impossible.
Disclaimer. Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm very excited about? I don't think it's sci-fi. It might be fantasy. The Will of the Many is so hyped at the moment, but Hannah has read it and she said it was brilliant. And she is a harsh critic, so it must be good.
I wish they hadn't changed the cover. I like the original simplistic design that they had for the cover.
Yes, I agree. I think the new one just looks too much like all like other stuff. Like it's such a popular design right now. Even I think Empire of Silence, the new cover is like kind of similar-ish style, isn't it? So I really like the Will of the Many, and I think it really like it's like a striking image of the thing crumbling, which is really interesting.
Yeah, that his original trilogy, The Shadow of What Was Lost, is still on my.
That's his. Ooh, wasn't that on top of one of the top series we might pick up, kind of thing?
Yeah, but like the last book is so thick that I think we would have to split it between 2 months. Like we would have to have like a cutoff point, like and then yeah,
That's fair. I mean, that's okay.
Yeah, no, I really want to read that series. Like I'm desperate to read that series. That's like one of my top ones that I want to get to.
It looks really good, and I heard good things. And yeah, we got like I'm very excited about the Will of the Many, but I think that only book 1 is out, and I don't know how many books he's planning. But
yeah.
Let me see. I love that you think I know my sci-fi, but some of the folks I follow on book to put me into the shade. I mean, some people are intense. Oh heck, I'm so behind on Blue Sky. I'm still hanging out for the slow motion train wreck. There's Twitter. Gotta move over eventually, though. Yeah, we moved over because it's too much. I too like to think I know a few sci-fi books, but the book to prose are colossal, and I have so many things I need to get to. But that's just life of a reader. Doesn't matter how much you read. There's always more to read.
Yes.
Blue Sky is excellent, but as it is not algorithmic, it can be hard to get going. It can seem dead until you start following loads of people on Discover feeds, then it explodes.
But to be fair, like I felt that way about Twitter when I first joined Twitter too. You know?
Yeah. To be fair, I joined Twitter quite late, so I wasn't there for the beginnings. But I will say it does feel like I was because I was like looking if you can schedule like a post and then if you can edit one, and you still can't do both. You can do it, I think, if you have like a different platform, but I was like, I'm not that invested. And what? Oh yeah, and it just felt like earlier like social media, like back when Twitter was still baby. That's actually better for me. I was used to the internet before the algorithm really messed everything up. Well,
yeah.
I kind of see that. For Instagram, I'm sometimes like, I just want to see things from my friends, man. Like, what is all this crap? What is making me chuckle is that we've been hanging out in these chats for long enough they had picked up on my reading focus. Of course.
And the fact that you don't like hardcovers, you only go with paperbacks. And you do have hardcovers, but they're special editions and you made exceptions. So yes. We know you very well at this point, Tufty.
And then you don't read the hardcovers, you buy paperbacks to supplement.
Well, I mean, honestly, like the hardbacks are heavy, like especially like if they're big chunker, like fantasy science fiction books. So I get it.
No. And there is something so satisfying about breaking. Like I'm a spine breaker. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I even if I can do this, I'm like, it's my book. I own it. I want it. I like sometimes like that you can tell that I read it. Some books I have the host like back home in Poland, and I've read that like 5 times, and the book is just like it's a mess, but it like falls open so easily, and it's just so good to read. And I'm like, it's signs of my love.
Yeah, well-worn books.
Yes. Ooh, controversial hardcover supremacy.
Ooh.
See, I prefer paperbacks. However, obviously, when you buy a new book, it comes as a hardback mostly, and you have to wait. So, because I've been really into like buying new books as they come out, I actually have a lot of hardbacks now, and I do like them. They do show wear and tear much slower. So that's nice.
Well, my thing is I'm super impatient. So if it comes out and I want to read it, I don't want to wait for the paperback.
Yeah, and that's fair. Especially what's frustrating is that if you really get into a series and you have to wait and you're like, okay, I got my paperbacks, but the last book comes out and it's a hardback and you have to wait another year. But then I don't want to have 2 paperbacks and a hardback. So it's like, oh, it's like I saw John Gwynn's last book, the serpent one. What was it called? Shadow? No.
Shadow of the Gods.
So Shadow of the Gods is book 1. Whatever book 3 was. Fury of the Gods.
Yes.
I saw it being sold in near my house. There's like a bookstore and they have like some used books, and it was for like £1, which is like basically free. But my other 2 are in paperback, and I was like, I don't want one singular hardback. So I didn't get it in the end. But I was like, oh, it would have been good. But I know what happened because where my bookshelf is like over here, right?
Yeah.
And featuring my laundry. Like there's sun that fall on it, and I think some of my hardbacks like have become faded. And I'm not super, and I don't know if it happened in this house. My previous house had like incredibly intense light. I don't know why, but just like the way the house was positioned or something, the light was so intense. It used to get so hot, and I wanted the light to hit my bookshelf because when I record, I want natural light, and I think that made some of my books fade. Like I feel like my Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares is like weirdly faded. And like Once and Future Witches is like, but some are fine, so I don't know what the logic is, but it's a little sad. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. That sun wears things away. Color.
Yeah, I know. But it's okay. I want to do like a whole reshuffle because Hanan came in and we counted my unread books, and I think it was 67 or something, which isn't that bad.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not that bad. But I really want this shelf to be like my read books, and I have this like shelf near, like next to my bed. That's just like hanging shelf. I want to put all my unread books there so I can see them very clearly, and then I can be like, yes, let me read you.
Yes.
So that's my project. One of these weekends, when I have a free weekend, I'm just gonna move everything over, and I think it'll make because it's getting overcrowded. So I'm also gonna get rid of stuff that I'm like, I've read you. I either didn't like you, I didn't love you, so you need to go. I'm like ready, but I'm scared to start because once you start, you can't really stop because once your whole house is covered in books, you got to do something. So I was like, I'm not gonna start yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Okay, let me catch up. I got A City on Mars recommendation from Tade Thompson on Blue Sky. He wrote the Wormwood trilogy, Rosewater, etc. There were a selection of recommended Mars nonfiction in that thread.
Huh. I've heard of Rosewater. I've seen it around, and I've heard it's actually really good.
I feel like I've heard the name, but I couldn't like tell you what it's about.
Right.
My current Mars book is oh my god, that like very popular series about like this guy that is like living on Mars, and then Red Rising.
Yes, I read that one.
Book 2, so I need to make my way through the rest.
Yeah, I've read the first 3 books, like the original trilogy, and I honestly love the first one. That was my favorite one out of all of them.
See, I didn't love it, but it was addictive. Like it felt good to read it, so I was like, I want to continue. But I was like, oh, how many stupid war games are we gonna have? It's like you're killing these people for no reason. But book 2, I thought was already like a bit better because it's like they set up all these ideas and it kind of paid off. But I think if I read it earlier, I would have enjoyed book 1 more because it was so action and like so much happened. And I used to read more books like that, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep the curtains in my library room closed all day, every day because of sunlight damage. I open the curtains when I want to take a selfie. I don't even have curtains in my current living room. But now I don't think it's such a problem because it's not hitting it directly. It's just my old house was like insane.
Yeah.
I think you could put a UV protection sticker clear coat on your window. I probably could, but I also am a renter, so I'm always like, I'm not doing anything to this place. A single shelf of unread books. I mean, it's not gonna be a one shelf, but there are like 2 or 3 shelves there, and I have a book cart, so at least I could have it in one room, you know. And 67 can fit on the bookshelf. This new book haul has a comic book, a nonfiction, a Greek retelling, and an SF pre-order. Nice. The Martian, lol. Wrong dude on Mars. Yeah, not that one. Although I do want to read The Martian. Because I think Project Hail Mary might be like my favorite sci-fi I ever read.
I need to read that one. I'm still a huge fan of Ready Player One. I think the author was charted as being problematic. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I've never actually read that, but I have also heard something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I found out about it after I read those books. So
fair. I know what you mean. I watched a whole video about it, but honestly, I can't remember what he did.
No, I can't either.
Oh, I went from Robinson's Mars trilogy to Martian there. I did not go with Red Rising.
Did you see that they have a board game for Red Rising?
Really?
Yes, they do. And I'm very, very curious about it.
Oh, I just Googled it. Wow, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Oh, a hand management combo building game for 1 to 6 players. Oh, you can play by yourself. It's a card game, I think. Interesting.
Yeah. I'm really curious about that.
Yeah, I really want to be fair, I really want to continue. I did enjoy it. And I think it has a lot of interesting ideas. Along with Sun Eater, I want to get to Red Rising. I have both sets on my unread bookshelf.
You mentioned Sun Eater, so I'm good.
It does.
Yes.
No curtains. Do you worry about people peering in from long distance? I mean, I live in front of a hotel, but it's kind of like there's not that many people there. Otherwise, there isn't any tall buildings. And like I have curtains in my bedroom. I just don't have them in my living room. Like, I mean, I'm not doing anything interesting. It's just me on the couch crocheting. So like, if you want to be weird about it, like not you, obviously the people who you can. Fist my mom. Ready Player One was really good. Project Hail Mary was great. If you liked it, The Martian you will adore. Yeah, I recommended it to a friend actually, and I saw him the other day, and he was like, "It was amazing. I loved it. One of like might be my favorite sci-fi." I was like, "I know, right?" And I actually found the hardback in a used bookstore for like a couple pounds. So I'm very excited to read because I only listened to it the first time, so I'm excited to like read it physically. Isn't it hard having to check a new offer to find out if they're problematic or no? Is this offer a Nazi? Yeah, that is very annoying. I'm like, can you all just either shut your mouths or like be nice people? Taking note of that, I was just working out setting up a regular board game night at my place. Nice.
It's like the very first like Red Rising book. I don't know if you've read the Red Rising book. It's like the Hunger Games, but like science fiction, like high science fiction, and a lot more like intense. So
I can see how it would make a good board game because it's such a military strategy book.
Yes, it is.
It's honestly a boy book, so I was like, I get the appeal, and I did enjoy it, but I was a bit annoyed. I think maybe if I read it with my eyes as well, I would have enjoyed it more. Okay. A dodgy offer boy caused the most recent scene of a book drama on the social. Have his book, but I'd rather put it in the trash pile after DNFing it. Is it, what's his face? Neil Gaiman or someone else? Honestly, I'm so out of touch with the book community in a moment.
I know. I really like haven't like been like in the loop as much recently because I've been kind of like in my own little world.
Yeah, I feel like because I deleted Twitter and I don't have a Blue Sky account except for our account, and my Instagram is just crochet. It's nothing else. It's just crochet. Honestly, it's so funny. Me and my friends were like, "Ooh, what's your Instagram discover page look like?" Not discover page, but you know when you put like a search thing and it shows you like, I guess discover, I don't know the name. And mine was literally just crochet, but it looked like it was women's boobies because it's just people showing off their like crochet tops and stuff. But it's just like the chest, so it looks like I'm a pervert, but I'm not. So I was like, I swear I'm not a pervert. It's just the clothes.
Gabby, I have no doubt that they make really pretty tops.
They were very pretty. I was like, I swear. So yeah, so I'm so out of touch with book drama. I only watch like Books and Lala, I think, as well. Yeah. Were you gonna say something?
I think I was, but then like it like left as soon as it came, so it's
okay.
fine. We can move on.
Oh, it's okay. I have a couple of other offers with a large set of books on my shelves whom I think may be dodgy boys. I don't know what to do with them now. I mean, the book could still be good, and you already paid for it, so you know. It's honestly a boy book. I mean, yeah, there's some books that I'm like, that's a boy book, and I respect that because there's girl books, and you know, we'd hope everything can be enjoyed by everyone, but still. Yeah. Somehow we're getting roasted. I'm sorry. I mean, Kira liked it.
I did.
Not game, and it was related to the SPSFCC. Okay, I don't know what that is. But fair enough. I will have to remember to nag you via the Reading Queen's account to find out how you got on with the first year. Please do.
Yes.
Please do. I need to be more active on it. I'm trying to also follow people there for us. So I looked up looked up the space between worlds and Blue Sky, and I was like, ooh, these people loved it. Great. Like follow them. Hopefully we'll love it too. ADHD brain. I do bounce off the girl books, if I'm okay to say that. I know. One time you were reading that romance novel, and I was shook of. It was.
Yes.
I was like, "Are you okay?" Oh, that's how well I know you. I was concerned for you. Yeah. You know what gets me excited? Soon it'll be spring, and that means hammock time for Tafty, and I'm so happy for him because that's nice and gardening.
Yes, his tomatoes.
I look forward to seeing that on Blue Sky. Blue Sky is such a nice name. I was thinking about this today. I was like, it's kind of ironic because we're not seeing the sky because we're on our phones, but at the same time, it's nice to like be somewhere that feels positive.
Yes, definitely. Twitter's a dumpster fire of negativity.
Yes, I'm so happy once I deleted it. I was like, oh, nice. I think that might have been the romance book I had in my library. I don't think I'd read it. You were reading one, I remember, and it was very shocking. Hammock time is all the time. Not in the UK. No. In Florida, maybe. Right now it's 6 degrees.
Wasn't it this one like the One Dark Window? Wasn't that the one he was reading?
It could be. I remember speaking about it.
Still fantasy.
Please confirm or deny. Yeah, it's 42 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment, so you know, no hammock outside. It was an Amazon First Reads thing that I had picked out of a lineup from a selection. I had not picked up how. Okay. Damn, I wonder what the romance book was. I remember speaking about that, so it could be.
Yeah.
I do have Rachel Gillick book, but I haven't read that one yet. Oh, okay. Maybe we just saw it in
yeah. Because I remember I was reading it, and they're just like, "Oh, maybe I need to pick it up," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I guess for some reason I thought you had already picked it up.
I don't remember similar conversation happening. I've hammocked in wars. I went to Minnesota and hammock camped 26 Fahrenheit. That's very cold, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's
mine is free.
Yeah.
That's too cold. I mean it's fine, but not to like be in a hammock.
Yeah.
You crazy, James. You crazy. I'm going my first ever camping trip over Easter, and I'm very excited.
That sounds like fun.
I know. I'm not 100% convinced I'll like it because, your girl's not one with nature. However, I'm excited to try it. I think it'll be fun.
I think you'll enjoy it. It's very like cleansing, like it's very like relaxing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I love hiking, so I am excited about like the fact of being like walking outside and because we're going to like kind of mountains, hills really. To go to mountains, I think you have to go all the way to Scotland. But yeah, it's like so I'm very excited for that. It's just the sleeping outside that I'm not sure about, but it's only 2 nights, I think, so it'll be
I mean,
fine.
you have a tent, right?
Yeah, we'll have a tent, and it's like in April, I guess. When is Easter? April, so it's kind of warmer, hopefully, than it is right now.
Yeah. I mean, you might want to keep an eye on the weather because
Mm,
they do have like those portable camping fans if it gets too hot.
yeah, I don't think it'll be too hot. I'm not worried about that because it'll be like realistically 15 degrees, which is not that warm. Maybe 20 actually. Oop, wrong way. Yeah, I think it'd be like upwards of 60 degrees, but that's not super hot.
Yeah.
Um, does my tent have different rooms? How fancy is it? It's not my tent, it's my fiance's tent because he used to be a scout when he was a kid. So I think it's the least fancy tent you can imagine. I would imagine that will be my tent, but he's not coming. I'm going with friends. So we'll see how it goes. But I will report back. I'm sure it'll be fun. My read unread ratio is about 30 to 70, so I have a great many unread books that I've hold. Okay. When I do this reorder, I think I'm going to calculate, like count all of my books and figure out how many I've read and not read. And Hannah had over 100. She had 104 unread. So I was like, hey, 67 is better than that.
104 is not bad either because I don't want to count how many I have.
I know, but you have a lot of space to be. Well, you have a lot of books, it seems.
Yeah.
I just have. My fiance said if we get our own house and we have a spare room, I can have more bookshelves. So that was very exciting for me.
Yes.
But right now, it's like physically, there's nowhere to put them, so I just have one. Also, moving with books, I would not recommend. I've done it many times. I think my fiance still says that he threw his back last time, so
Oops.
I don't know. It's like, oh, oopsie daisy. So I did that. My friend Jordan had one with a room separated. That thing was very nice. That does sound nice. Overnight temperature could be a bit low, comfortable for me. Yeah, I get really warm, cold, but layers will be fine. Last time I went camping was when I stayed overnight at a racetrack before a motorcycle track day. It takes a long time to get the circuit, so it's easier to get there the day before. That makes you sound very badass, no? Like, I think that's pretty cool. That was the hottest day of the year that year, so imagine standing around in full leathers. Oh, that must be rough. That's so cool. Flat track tracing. Not flat track as you were thinking of, circuit racing on tarmac. Okay. Never been to a race.
I don't even know the difference.
Well, yeah, no, I don't know either. Should we do a reading sprint?
Yeah, we can go for another one.
Okay, let me reply. Hopefully this time I won't just randomly pause it. I thought I was pausing my music, but apparently I wasn't. Awesome! Enjoy this print. Hello.
Hello.
How's your reading going?
Good. I got a little ways further into it. I took a quick like 10-minute power nap.
Nice.
So I was like, yeah. Because sometimes like when you like you're reading like very calming stuff, it kind of like soothes you and it makes you like a little sleepy.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I think I'm just gonna slip a quick nap in here.
That's fair. That sounds nice. Yeah. I tried to do so. Basically, I'm making this other sweater as well. It's like a cardigan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out how to do ribbing. So I did like 2 rows. Figure out it wasn't working, so I undid it, and then I read. I'm now on page 204. So
Awesome. You're getting there.
Only like 10-15 pages, but it's pretty small writing as well. So I was like, I feel like I've been reading forever.
Oh yeah.
Not that much progress, but it is a very tense scene. I was like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it's cold now. I read next to no pages. I got to the end of the chapter in the last sprint, picked it up to read the next, and decided to go make pizza before the sprint finished. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I think my fiance is cooking now, so hopefully I'll have dinner soon.
Yeah. I haven't eaten anything yet today, so I'm kind of like, I know. I woke up like I literally like rolled out of bed this morning. I'm just like literally. So.
Yeah, I need to eat in the morning. I always get so hungry.
Mm-hmm.
But just as I'm about to start rolling out the pizza, though, I got a Discord message from BookTube's own Dominish Books asking to edit some data on the story graph, so I went to do that instead. Pizza was not made. Pizza remains to be made. Actually, homemade pizza sounds so good right now. Earlier we were talking about having to check new offers to see if they lean a bit fash.
Yeah.
Sadly, yes. I assume there is something to follow.
Well, Illumicrate just had a author like for this month, I believe, February, that they were in contract with, but turns out she's a Trump supporter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I skipped. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not about.
How many book boxes do you have now? Is it just the 2, like Broken Binding and?
No, I got rid of the Fairy Loot YA this month because I was like looking at it. I ran out of skips, and I was like looking at it, and I'm like, I don't really want this book, and I don't really like think I'm gonna want the book the month after. I've been getting more use out of like some of my other subscription boxes, or I think I'll get more use out of those. So I have Illumicrate, the YA one. I don't think they have an adult yet. And then I have their Evernight, which is their horror, and that's every 3 months. So that one's like very like low maintenance. And then I have the adult Fairy Loot and the Broken Binding.
Nice.
But I might narrow it down like more as time goes on, because like the Fairy Loot I feel like was just the beginning. Like I haven't read a lot of the books like that I've gotten through them. Yeah. And same with Illumicrate, like the fact that I'm reading like one of my Illumicrates like right now, like I'm just like, oh, this is like definitely like a great rainy day book. So, and there's other books like that I've like realized like that if I'm still in the mood for like something sweet after like this, that there's more from Fairy Loot and Illumicrate that I have stocked up on. So
yeah, that's fair. Do you buy books outside of subscription boxes much?
Off and on. Like I've been like buying like a lot more nonfiction and like poetry. Like I just bought like another one called Hitler's First 100 Days, and it's about like how like Hitler turned a democracy into a dictatorship. So I just bought that one like not too like long ago. There's a few like other like ones about like that time period that I'm kind of like interested in reading because of everything that's happening now. And then I bought like that fashion and politics book.
Yeah.
Which that was actually like less expensive for me to get it from the UK, because I ended up ordering it through what was it, Blackwell's. And it was actually like a little bit cheaper to do it that way, like than it was to order it locally.
Oh, that's surprising because obviously then you have to pay for the shipping as well, right?
Yeah, and I don't think the tariffs have come into like effect yet. I don't know when that's going to happen. So I went ahead and just ordered it because I'm just like, worst case scenario, I'd have to pay like the tariff on it, and then it'll end up being about the same price.
Okay.
So we'll see. But I was trying to save some money because like it is a hardback book, and it looks like it's like, you know, kind of color and stuff. So probably because they have like a lot of pictures and examples of what they're discussing, like in the fashion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
let me catch up. I was reading a thread on Blue Sky where a guy gets upset at somebody for mentioning an offer. He goes on to list a pile of dodgy boys, 2 of them whom I had no idea about, and I've been reading them since I was young. I have loads of their book, they were formative to my reading. I still don't know what they've done, but I recognize some others that were listed, including Marion Zimmer Bradley, so I assume he knows his onions, whereas I'm ignorant. I don't know. I'm not sure. I want to add in a non-fiction of the month pick to my regular reading. I have so many books to read, but I mostly read fiction. Yeah, same for me. I want to read more now. I think like I've already been doing okay. Like I've been reading more this year.
That's good.
Given 50% of people voted for Trump, they have they realized what they've done yet?
There was actually like a discussion of this, like about this on TikTok. Like the people like that are indoctrinated like into that type of thinking, they're not going to make it out of that. Like just like, you know, like whatever, because like they're going to continue to rationalize and rationalize and rationalize and rationalize until things either get so bad that they can't that there's no longer a way to rationalize it, or they, you know, like end up kind of just continuing to rationalize and disassociate.
Yeah. It's the times we live in, honestly.
I know. And like I keep thinking like about like that Chinese proverb, "May you live in interesting times," being a curse, and I'm like, it really is a curse to live in interesting times. I've seen way too much in my lifetime already, and I'm like, I'm done. Like I just want peace.
I know. I was thinking about this. I feel like I turned into an adult, and then all of a sudden we were living through history. I mean, obviously there's always been a lot happening, so probably when you're a kid it feels like super nice and peaceful because you're hopefully not affected by it. But yeah, it feels like, man, there's a lot of history that we've been living in. I'm tired.
Me too.
Yeah.
And it's just like I just don't even like want to watch the news anymore. Like there's there's like this guy like that I follow. He does like a lot of the news stuff. He's on Instagram and TikTok, and his name is Aaron Parnas. Like he's like, you know, he's big like on TikTok. He's big like on Instagram, everywhere. But like he posted like one day because like he posts like all the updates. He posted like one day like just a generic story like that says, "I'm tired." And I felt that in my bones because I'm like, oh my God, like this poor guy, like he's giving us like all the news like as often as he can, but it seems like every like 10 minutes he's got like some new update, or like every couple of hours new update, and I'm just like, when does this guy sleep?
Yeah. God, yeah, I know what you mean. It's hard to keep up. It's just like so much going on, and you're like, what? And then it'll be like, oh, Trump's trying to do this new thing, and it's like, oh, actually, it was blocked, or actually, it did happen. You're like, what the? Just so much to like.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm exhausted at this point. I'm just like, I don't even like want to see the news anymore. But like, it's like at the same time, like it's like I need to know what's happening. You know, so I'm kind of like
Yeah, no,
caught
it's
between like,
true.
yeah. So I'm caught between like being like to know like where we're at like in this like, you know, deconstructive of like our entire democracy and not wanting to know anything.
No. Yeah, I feel that. I recently read Handmaid's Tale for the first time. Like
Oh
I
wow,
watched the first season of the show years ago when it premiered, but yeah, I was like, it was so hard to get through it. Not because it was bad; it was obviously amazing. However, it was really hard. I was like, I wish it got more unplausible with time rather than less. And it was really depressing. And I was like, oh, this is so good, but I really don't want to read it. Like, I did not want to pick it up. And I was like, that's hard to
yeah.
read. I have muted a lot of terms on Blue Sky to try and trim things down, but every morning I wake up here in Great Britain to see all the nuts, and that is gone in the US overnight. I just feel like that sometimes. Yeah, I stopped watching the news in 2016, and my quality of life has incredibly improved. But it's like you said, it's really hard because it's hard to receive that all the time and not let it bring you down, but then you need to know what's happening at the same time, right? So it's like hard.
Yeah, I have like a need like to it's like the train wreck. It's like it's almost like the train wreck that's headed straight for you. It's like you don't want to watch it, like, but you also like want to know like how much longer you have.
For sure. It is hard. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I was listening to
fine, but it's fine.
Yeah, I was listening to this thing the other day, and they were talking about like it's been since Brexit. It's been what, like 3 years or something, and they were saying like they were canvassing like people and asking them if they think it was the right choice. And like vast majority say no. I'm like, okay, but the damage's been done. Like our economy's in the gutter. Like the consequences have consequence. The fact that you have buyer's remorse now is not helpful to anyone. And it's just like, it's the most bitter I told you so ever. I'm like, I wish I was wrong and it was like the best thing ever. But no. So it's like similar, I would hope. It's like you said, well, it's also hard because people that are actually properly radicalized, which I don't think is what happened here with Brexit, at least to that extent. It's hard to like be open, your eyes to open to the reality of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, and like, what was it? There was this book, I think we discussed it like a while back, called Cultish that I read. And they actually used MAGA as an example of a cult because of the terminology. Because like one of the criteria for a cult is like that they have like their own terminology, and they do, like deep state, like
Fake news.
Make America great again, like their slogan, like, and then the way like that the person like in charge, like of that kind of thing, like talks, like having like like word salad sometimes and not always making sense, and that's kind of like on point too. Like all of it's like on point, and it really like touched like on like a lot of things like that, have made this a thing.
That's so interesting because I read Cultish too, but I think it was like a couple of years ago, so I didn't quite, it wasn't present in my mind, so I didn't like pick up on all that, but that is really interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, what you're saying. Yeah, it's interesting living through history.
So I actually did pick up a book like a while back that I also like want to read, because I told you like I'm kind of like interested like in that period of time right now because of everything that's going on. Yeah. And it's called The Language of the Third Reich. Yeah. And it's after Cultish discussed like the terminology portion of it, like the fact that they had like their way of speaking, I started getting curious like about like whether or not Nazi Germany had that as well, and apparently they do. They did. Like they had a whole like way of speaking, and I first heard about it in that book called On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder, and it's talking like about like the key like ways to prevent dictatorships and tyranny. And it mentioned like that book, and I'm like, oh, I think I need to get this because it's probably going to be pretty technical, but like I'm also like very fascinated like with the whole situation, like with the whole thing.
Yeah, I get so many great recs about nonfiction from you. I got in the library the Rage Becomes Her. I think you mentioned that. I don't know if you actually read it or you just wanted to.
Not yet. I have it.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet because I still have like 12 days to read it, and I wanted to use up my Spotify credit first. Yeah. But as soon as I finish it, I'm gonna read it, and I'm really intrigued. So I'll let you know how it was.
Well, I think I told you about like this like one, Sex and Lives.
Yes. Yeah.
This is the true stories of the intimate lives of the Arab world. This was really good too.
I really want to read that one, but yeah, they don't have the audiobook, and I've been so slow with my physical reading. It's been like I've been very dragging my feet, so yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll read at some point. I started Sense and Sensibility, and I've not picked it up in ages. I need to like carry around with me. I think you know what it is. It's like actual books. I find it hard to read because I read before bed, but I don't always want to have like my light on because like I have my partner, so I need to be considerate. Yeah. So if I have my audio, like my Kindle is so easy, but if I'm reading 2 physical books, I'm always like, oh, it's not the perfect time. I'd rather read it in the morning, and I get all these excuses. I'm like, damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Language has always been a major player in in-group, out-group mentalities. It's interesting how people suss out others based on how they talk about stuff.
Oh, I tell you like what, like though, like with like the culture like of MAGA and stuff. I have a conversation with people like these days and I can just tell. We don't have to talk politics. You just know it.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
you just know.
I do, yeah. I think even when you hear people online, you're like, sus.
Yes.
I read a good book that was nonfiction, actually. I just finished. It's called Anthropocene in Review by John
Oh,
Green.
I love that one. It's so
Yeah,
good.
I didn't know what to expect. I just saw, oh, John Green book on my library, so I like put a hold in. I loved it. It was so good. I don't know. It was like, I mean, obviously it was written during the pandemic, so it was an element of like being brought back to that, but almost in like a good way, and I really enjoyed how he did it. And I think he
Yeah.
talked about language a bit in there as well. But yeah, it was so good. So
I
I think I also enjoyed it.
It was so good. I listened to an audiobook. It was
Me
so good.
too, because
And
you
I'm
read it.
and he's been a huge like proponent for like tuberculosis too, like because that's still the most contagious disease ever in history. And he's getting ready to come out like with another book on tuberculosis.
Oh, I can't wait to read that.
I know, I'm so excited.
Yeah, because I read his like fiction stuff. Obviously, it's like I love Fault in Our Stars when I read it when I was a kid and stuff. But I think this is my favorite thing he wrote. Like I read from him actually, because yeah, it was so good. I was really really impressed, and like he read it in a really cool way. And it was like it was sad, it was happy, it was dreadful, it was hopeful. I was like, wow, like these are all the thoughts I'm having. I love it. Sorry, for me, it's as long as somebody says woke, and I immediately ignore them moving forward. Yeah, it's a bit like trip.
Or the 2020 election was stolen. That's another one. Or racist jargon. You know, like that's another like one because it's kind of like, yeah, you voted for the other guy.
Yeah,
So
that sucks that you actually deal with people like that.
I mean, you just try to filter it out and deal with it with the best you can. I mean, like we're in a red state, so that's nothing we can do about it.
That's fair. Okay, to lift the topic a little, so to change the topic, are the Readalong Queens mainly just you two regulars nowadays? Do you have a reading plan for the year? I only know Feb March. I mean, Femke and Esme did say they were up for it, so I thought they were going to be here today, but they might have forgotten. We are the bedrock, I would say, of this.
Yes. We've been doing this since the beginning, a long time.
The two of us, you know.
Yes.
So I would say they're like guests, like featured guests, more so. So I do think it's in a way exciting because we want to read such similar things. I think it's kind of perfect because then we're like we can read whatever we want. Do we have fast beyond Feb March? I mean, we wrote down many things, but I don't think we like settled. Did we, or did we not?
I don't think we've settled on anything at this point. We kind of it's funny because it's almost like we get towards like the end of like that series that we're reading or whatever like we're reading at the time, and then like we've already got like a lot of things like that we've discussed previously as far as like wanting to read, and it's basically like us mulling it back over again to figure out like what we're in the mood to do next.
Exactly.
So
it's Kira coming out with all these amazing books she wants to read, and me being there like, yeah, I'm up for that. I'm like, I'm up for anything. I just really love doing this because it like encourages me to actually finish a series, which is so cool because normally it's a struggle. Nice. Choosing the next thing towards the end sounds ideal to me. Don't plan out too far ahead. Because it's like what you said. Sometimes I'm no longer in the mood. So it's like what the mood strikes, right?
yeah.
I also think, obviously, this one, also, I'm so excited for this Space Between the Worlds because I feel like once you made me aware of it, all of a sudden, everyone I know loved it and everyone online loved it. And I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm going to really like love it because it's so popular.
Yeah, I haven't heard too many people talk about the sequel though.
I kind of didn't even realize there was a sequel. Till I was like, oh wait, there's two books. Well, let's read both. I think it maybe came out more recently. I don't have my phone. But yeah. Wait, Tafty. I don't have book 2 for March yet. I'm going to wait to see how I get on with book 1 before I switch on a book 2.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think we kind of discussed like that too. Like we're gonna like see how we like book 1, and then we're gonna play it by ear, like whether or not we proceed to book 2. So
Yes.
I mean, we're pretty much all in the same boat at this point.
Exactly, because I think book 2 is like more like a companion, right? Because
I think so, yeah.
Because I thought the book 1 was pitched as a standalone, and then there was another one. So yeah, I agree. Well, let's just see if we all enjoy it, and for sure pick up another one.
I mean, to change the subject, because like we were discussing like feature books and stuff like that. There's another book, like it's called God Killer series by Hannah Canner, and I think the last book for that's coming out like this year too. And those are actually like really great because like they're all kind of thin as far as like fantasy goes.
I read the first one and I didn't love it,
okay.
So I probably wouldn't want to read it.
That's fine.
So yeah. Because I was like, I liked it, but I wasn't like super obsessed with it, and I don't remember that much to talk about it. Does that make sense? So I'm like, probably wouldn't want to reread. But
it's interesting too, because like just like looking at the ratings and stuff, it looks like the second one was slightly higher, but it makes me like wonder because like the first one was 3.88. So
yeah, wait, I'm gonna pull out our series spreadsheet. Where is it? What did I call it?
And like they have like that mecha, like those mecha like books, and I'm kind of like wondering if they're going to be coming out with a third one for those mecha books, because we were kind of like talking about that too. That's the one by Alex White, the Ardent, those mecha ones.
What is it called?
Ardent Violet and the Infinite Eye is the second one, but they're by Alex White.
Wait, sorry. Could you repeat that?
It's called Ardent, Ardent, Violet, Violet, and the Infinite Eye.
Oh, okay. I see it.
Because we talked about the mecha ones, like, because like it was like robots, like mechas.
Yeah. Oh wow, the covers are so cool.
Yeah, I know. I thought so too. I was just like, somebody actually wrote books about mechas.
I'd be up for that.
I'm just not sure. I gotta do some like more research and see if they're planning on making a third one, because like I only see the first 2. I don't know if it's duology. And then we were talking like about the Helm of Midnight, which was that horror fantasy series, kind of like thriller fantasy series.
No, I want to read that.
The last one.
I want to read the mecha one too. However, that sounds so good too.
Oh, okay. So the Teeth of Dawn, I think the last book in that series is already out. The one for the thriller fantasy. It is. It's already out. So that means like that's now a completed series that just came out at the end of January.
That could be good.
Yeah. So that's another option too. As far as like upcoming stuff that we could discuss. Yeah. But yeah, like I've been thinking, so many series on the list.
So many. Wait, I found the spreadsheet. Yeah, we said The Blighted Stars.
Yes.
The Justice of Kings. The Books of Babel.
Yes.
The Savage Song. A River Enchanted. The Study in Drowning. Isn't that a standalone though? A Queen of Blood. Bone Maker. Hallowed Vows. Memory Called Empire. I'm also very excited about that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's over though. She Who Became the Sun, The Merciful Crow, Little Devils, The Bear and the Nightingale, Piranesi. That would be good.
Yeah, Piranesi is a good standalone, but like there's like a lot of like philosophical stuff with that too, I feel like. I thought it was good. I don't think it's everybody's cup of tea, but I liked it.
Yeah, I really want to read it. I haven't picked it up yet. Then we have The Helm of Midnight, These Burning Stars, Library Trilogy. Tufty, there you go. That's the Mark Lawrence one. Yeah. And The Shadow of What Was Lost, and The Book That Wouldn't Burn, which is the library thing.
Yes.
Yeah, the mecha one's, it's called The Star Metal Symphony, and that's such a badass name. I love it.
Yes. Well, Tufty actually mentioned like that Alex White does have another series, A Big Ship at the End of the Universe, which I've heard is really good. Everybody that I know has read it has loved that series. And it's a it's a trilogy. It's a science fiction series.
Okay, I'll add these to the spreadsheet. We can narrow down.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind like reading more science fiction this year, honestly. Like we do like a ton of fantasy, but I mean, we can still mix it up. So
for sure. I think I read a lot of fantasy otherwise, so it's kind of fun to read sci-fi together because it like guides me towards what I should read because there's so many options.
I did like notice like that I've gotten to be like a bigger fan of like science fiction over fantasy because I don't like soft magic systems. I like the rules. I like them to play like within the confines of the rules and then mess my brain up by like taking me somewhere where I didn't see it coming. And I love that. And I feel like science fiction, like has a set of rules because, like it's science fiction, even though like it's fictional, it's still science fiction.
Yeah. So. No, I've been becoming way more enamored with sci-fi, so I'm totally down.
Yeah.
Okay, let me quickly catch up. One Readalong book club I joined in with had a tendency to doing that quite rapidly. I mean, we have abandoned quite rapidly, I would say.
Yes.
Already had the book as soon as you mentioned this is about these Bernie whatever we're right between the worlds.
Yeah. Worlds.
I'd most associate these two books with Literature, Science, Alliance, and BookTube, but I hadn't noted down where I got the nudge to pick it up originally. Pulling up the big guns, the series spreadsheet. Yes. I need a spreadsheet. Yeah, okay, maybe that could be a good one then.
Yeah, I would be interested in that one.
But the mecha ones look so cool. The
mecha series is fairly recent. And I've been like drooling like over like that because I have yet to see like a lot of books about mechas. And so I was very intrigued because that's not a popular thing to write about.
Yeah. I think the only one I read is like I'm looking for it. By a booktuber. What's it called? And the sequel came out very recently and it's like a red book. Do you know what I'm talking about? Let me have a look. Oh, Iron Widow.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that one.
It was pretty good. I actually need to read the sequel.
Huh.
Yeah, Blighted Star, Justice of Kings. See, everyone.
I've been wanting to read Justice of Kings, I believe. I think that's the one I've actually collected that series too. Hardback, of course.
Oh, I really want to read that too. See, I always forget what it is. Then I look it up. I'm like, oh my God, I've been dying to read it.
I know. And then we have these conversations, and then I just feel like the overwhelming anxiety that I'll never be able to read every book that I want to read in my lifetime.
Yeah, but I feel like we have some like top 3, and then we can make a decision. We can always have a little, what do you call a vote? Because I think Justice of Kings would be good, and then we have the Helm. Did you say it called Helm of Midnight?
Well, it's called the 5 Penalties.
Yeah.
That's the name of the series. It's by Mariana J. Laudister. But that's the first book.
And the Empire of Silence would be good. Although I don't know if that's finished. That's something to research a little.
Empire of Silence?
Yeah.
That's a Sun Eater series.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's okay. If you guys wanted to read that, I would be okay with that too. Even though that would take us a whole year.
Want to read that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a little vote in February in March to see what people want to read.
Yeah.
I'd love to pick up a new sci-fi book. I think it should be sci-fi. But I love these like epic sci-fis that almost feel like a fantasy in a way. It's like kind of what you said is like they're so sprawling and big and there's so much politics and it's just like so good.
Sun Eater series. I'm just gonna like discreetly like place like that again in this conversation.
Okay, I added it. I have 4 that I'm like I feel like they. Well, actually, I probably have 3 that I'm like my top 3 probably would be the Justice of Kings, Helm of Midnight, and Empire of Silence.
Okay.
But I'm also honestly up for anything as well. Is that the author of New Menon or something spelled like that?
Which author? Like we talked about a few of them, and now I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm not sure what New Menon is.
Oh, okay. I'm still on her. Let me check. Yes. Yep, that's her. She did that one.
Is that the Helm of Midnight person?
Yes. It looks that looks like, just given off the cover, that looks like that was indie published.
It does. Is it not?
I don't know. They don't really say like on Goodreads like when stuff's like indie published, I feel like. So
yeah, it's really hard to understand sometimes. I have to like do research to know. Okay, The Helm of Midnight is such an amazing, but yeah, so it's a fantasy horror mystery thriller. It's adult. But how many books are there?
I think
3.
Yeah, they just came out with the last one.
Okay. Nice. That could be good because it's free, and we could save Empire of Silence for like start January 2026 or something.
You keep saying Empire of Silence.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I mean. So I'm saying we could do like a trilogy now, Empire of Silence as the big one. We could dedicate 2026 to it. So then it's like...
With the whole series?
Yeah, so we have a whole year.
Ooh.
Because now I'm like, we'd start like halfway through, so we couldn't finish in 1 year. But I feel like doing 1 year could be good.
Yeah. I would be up for all 7 books in a year.
Me too.
Yeah. Because like...
Sorry.
Hadrian Barlow is amazing. Like, it's like, I love his character arc. And
you know what? I think by next year, all the books should be out in paperback, so Tafty can join.
Yeah, hopefully. They are re-releasing like a lot of them back in hardcover again because like the series like is blowing up. So
yeah, because if the next book is coming out this year, then by end of next year there should be a paperback.
Yeah, James just mentioned like the Expanse series. I've heard is excellent, but also so many books. And yes, that one, like I would love to read that one too, but I just feel like that one would like just too much time. Like that would take over a year because there's like 9 books. And usually we take like a little bit of breaks like in between.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm like Empire of Silence. Okay, 7 books. If we have a full 12 months, we can like take our time.
Yes.
And then I'm like, okay, I can kind of see it working, but yeah, even more books. I'm like, that'll take us 2 years.
Yeah.
Just be realistic. I have the first Newman book. As with Alex White, I often buy one book meaning to sample the offer and then haul out from there, but I have so many unread books.
Yes.
In other words, you're not going to be short of series for the Queen's Readalong 2 while planning out 2026. We will never run out of things to read. That is one thing I'm never worried about.
Hence the anxiety.
The many series I've had to drop out because I'm waiting on the pub example Fury of the Gods, which I cannot read until October. I know we need to be more considerate and only do things in paperbacks. I'm looking at the Empire of the Wolf, the Justice of Kings. That's also a trilogy. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could do both of them this year probably because it's only 6 books.
Yep, and it's only February.
We'll have 7 months left once we're done with the next book.
Yeah.
We did take it easy to start with this year, so.
We did. I like the fact that we're doing a nice thin book for the year.
Yes, I'm very excited. Actually, I think it's going to be really good. It's quite different, mixing it up. I think I need to call it because my dinner's being made.
Yes, I think I would like to call it because I'd like to go have brunch.
I think that you deserve brunch.
My stomach's been yelling at me like for the last hour and a half, and I'm like, shut up. Like, I'm going to get to it. I promise.
Fair enough. Sorry, says the awkward paperback boy. At least I'm consistent. Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why we love you, Swifty. Like, you're awesome. Like, you're always reading. You got the paperbacks. Like, you're good to go.
Exactly. And we do love a good hammock pick with the paperback.
Yes.
Pizza time. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it very, very much. We're discussing the book on 2nd of March. So, James, if you want to read sci-fi, there's plenty of time for you to get involved. I haven't started yet either.
No.
Neither has Kira. Food time. Yeah. It's like I can smell the food. I'm like, hungry. It's only 5 p.m. too. I don't know why I'm so hungry. All right, should we do the awkward wave?
Yes.
Okay, I'm clicking it. Bye, everyone.
Double princess wave.